Welcome to the Dance Navigator. I'm Chelsea, and I am a dancer, teacher, choreographer, and former studio owner. And I'm here to help you through all ins and outs of dance. Now in today's video, I'm going to work on some exercises that you can do for foot strengthening as well as your ankles, particularly if you are looking to be on point or are already on point. Now, one little note about this is that this is not necessarily for a beginner dancer. I would encourage starting these types of exercises more around an intermediate level or when your teacher says that you're ready. So for my youngest students, don't start with those bands yet until your teacher gives you the go-ahead. But you can also do some of these exercises without using the band. So I will walk you through it and show you some examples as we go. Now, like I said, you can do some of these exercises without the equipment that I have here, but let me show you what we have so that you can do it with me if you do want to. Now, first, you're going to want some sort of ball. It can be a tennis ball or a bouncy ball, maybe, something that gives a little bit, but is not too soft. And then we're going to have an exercise band. Now these do come in different weights. So when you're looking to purchase one or looking to see with what you have, a lighter weight band means you're going to be able to stretch it easier. A heavier band means that it's going to take a little bit more strength to pull on it. So I always recommend starting with a lightweight band the first time that you start using bands because you don't want to add too much resistance to begin with. And then as your feet get stronger and that becomes very easy, then you can go ahead and add a higher resistance band to your exercise. Okay, so the first thing we're going to get started with is with no equipment. And we're just going to get our feet out and we're going to keep them parallel by each other. And we're going to do what I like to call little inchworms. So we're going to grab the floor with our toes and we're going to pull our heels closer towards our toes. Then we're going to reach and flatten our feet out again and pull those heels closer. So from the side, you can see this way. I'm bringing my legs in, I'm reaching out with my toes, pull in my heels. Out with my toes, pull in my heels. And you can usually reach out about 4 little crawls away from your body, and then you're going to reverse it to come back. So you're going to go toes in, stretch those feet out, flatten the heels down. Stretch it out, and stretch it out. Now we can alternate, we can do these 1 foot at a time and 2 feet at a time. So let's go ahead and do a repetition of 4 out, 4 back, and then we're going to do that right foot, left foot, and then both feet again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, push it back, 1, 2, 3, 4, right foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, push it back, 1, 2, 3, 4, left foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, push it back, 1, 2, 3, 4, both feet again, 1, 2, 3, 4, push it back, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now something else is that obviously this is to work on the strength of our feet, but we should also think about the positioning of our feet. So when we think about a nice pointed foot, it's important to remember that curling your toes is not a point. We want to extend our toes out. So our ideal point are our toes reaching out nice and flat and the arch coming from the arch of our foot. So we want that nice long position there, but we don't want to curl our toes in. Particularly if you are going on point or you already are, this is not what you want in your shoes because you want your toes extended, using all that strength through a nice extended position of your toes. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do some flexes and some points. And when we're flexing, I want you to think about making the back of your leg longer. When we're pointing, I want you to think about extending those toes out like we talked about, nice and straight, not towards the floor. So let's keep those fingertips back, our back nice and tall, sitting up with good posture, and we're going to flex our toes and point. Start with the toes, then the whole foot, down to the foot, point the toes, toes, flex, foot, toes. Yeah, so we're isolating all those movements and getting our toes to separate. Now let's make it flow. Flex and point. Flex and point. Flex and point. Flex and point. Now we're just going to do our toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flex those feet, press the backs of your knees into the floor, lift the top of your head up to the ceiling, and shake it out. Okay, we're now going to do the same thing but in a first position. So we're turning out, we're doing the same exercise, but we're going to keep our legs rotated outward in a first position. Here we go. Point the feet and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Let's do 4 more. Think of the little toes brushing against the floor. That's going to help you rotate in your turnout. 2 more. 1 and 2. Now just the toes. Toes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and stretching your feet is also very important. So I want you to just stretch out one leg, bring the other leg on top. Doesn't matter which one you start with. And I want you to relax this leg that we're working with. So that's very important. I don't want your foot to do the work. I want your foot to be completely relaxed. I want your hand to do the work this time. So you're gonna go ahead and take your foot, you're relaxing that foot, and you are going to move your foot in some circles. So let's just do nice 8 circles, one direction. And then we're gonna reverse it and go the other way. Nice and gentle, just to stretch them out. And same thing, we're keeping this leg nice and relaxed. It's not doing the work, your hand is doing the work, and you're gonna flex. Press the ball of your foot towards this knee, making sure not to sickle that foot, right? Keep it in a nice line. And we're gonna switch, other leg. Remember, relax this leg. It's not gonna do any of the work. Your hand is gonna do the work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and reverse. And go ahead and press on the ball of your foot towards that knee. Still very gentle, you don't have to press super hard. Okay, now let's grab our exercise bands. Remember, if you've never done them before, if you haven't already worked up to a little bit greater of a strength, start with a light band, and that is one that is going to stretch pretty easily. And sometimes you might feel like, this is so easy, why am I starting with this band? I promise you, after you do enough repetitions, it's still better than not having the band at all. So you want to really work yourself up to heavier bands. So we're going to begin with some ankle strengthening here because the ankles are just as important as the arch of your foot and your toes. So I want you to put the band in line where the ball of your foot is with those toes. So you want to make sure that it still covers your toes, but it's as straight as you can make it. And we want to sit up very straight too. So make sure your posture is always good. And this leg, we don't want to keep out unless we have any knee problems. That's always okay. We want to try to tuck it in so that we can still pull ourselves up as tall as we can and keep our hips as square as we can. So we're going to pull our band back a little bit, just enough so that it's tight. And then we're going to shift it over to the side. Now you have to work your foot against that hand. So make sure that as you pull it over, you're not pulling your toes with you. You want to resist that. So that's the whole point of these exercises with the resistance bands, is you are resisting it to build that strength. It's like lifting weights for your feet and your ankles. So when I pull my hand over this way, I want to keep my shoulders square, my hips square, and my foot is still upright. It's directly up like this. Now this hand, our goal is to keep it still. We're not going to move it, but our toes are going to pull away from that hand. We're going to go straight to the side. Now that's working the muscles on the outside of our ankle, which are very important in stabilizing our ankles. So you want to make sure that even though it's a small movement, right, do it from your ankle, not your whole leg. We don't want our whole leg moving, it's just that ankle. Let's try for 8 more. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And if it helps you, you could always place your hand on your knee. You're not holding it in place, but it's to see if you're moving your leg. It helps draw your attention to it a little bit easier so that you recognize if you're rotating your whole leg or if you're just moving from that ankle. Now we're going to switch it. We're going to move the hand over to the opposite side. Now we're going to work the inside because we're going to pull away from this arm. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same thing, if it helps you to place your hand on your knee to see if you're moving your whole leg, go ahead and place it there, just don't press. And we do 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, let's switch, other leg. You have to always keep it even. Make sure we're using both sides. We're going to start by pulling it out over past your knee. Foot's going to go that way, away from our hand. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's switch it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so now we're going to actually do the ones where we press into the band. So again, make sure your feet are strong enough. If you notice your toes curling or if a teacher hasn't worked with you yet on this, do it without the band or do more repetitions of the ones that we just did. So we're going to make sure that our toes are within our band and that when we point, our toes are not going to flip up over our band. And sometimes it moves and you just have to adjust it. That's okay too. So we're going to give it a little tug. Make sure that it's pulled back towards your hip bone. You're sitting up nice and straight. And we're going to press into the band with the ball of our foot. Then extend our toes. Flex those toes. Pull it back. Let's do 8 of those together. One more. And now let's just do those toes. So we're going to stretch through our ankle, nice pointed ankles, and then toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And of course we switch sides. Make sure that you're doing both sides. Sitting up nice and straight again. Check that your toes are in a good spot. And full foot. 1. Now just the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now there's an alternative to the ones that we did earlier, which were working on the inside and the outside, or it's something you can do as an extra. So this one, we're going to prepare our band just like we did a second ago when we pressed all the way through it. But you're going to take your other foot and you're going to press it this way so that you're holding it and tugging it away from where we're going to be resisting. So I'll give you a different view of that. Right here. So my other foot is holding it away. And we're going to do exactly like we did earlier with our arm, only this time our foot's doing a little bit more of the work than our arm. And our right foot that we have right now is going to go out. So again, make sure that you're resisting. And you're gonna hardly see your foot move. That's my biggest thing. Students always look and they're like, but I've gotta move it, right? As long as you're resisting that and the muscle's doing the work, it's happening, it's doing good. You can also loosen it up a little bit if it's a little too tight. So let's do 16 on the right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's switch it. Make sure you're a good amount of resistance that you feel comfortable with. Feet are parallel, sitting up nice and straight, and left foot is resisting the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so the next one that we're going to do, we're going to work on not just strengthening, but also the coordination in our feet, because we need our toes to be just as coordinated as the rest of our body, because we're using them so much. So you're gonna stretch out your band flat on the floor. And then similar to how we did with our inchworms, where we kind of crawled our feet out, only this is gonna focus a little bit more on just the toes, we're going to grab the band and we're gonna try to pull it to us. Now sometimes it takes a minute to get started, but you're gonna just keep pulling and pulling and pulling, keeping that heel on the ground as much as you can. And you're gonna try to get your whole band to come to you. And teachers, if you're utilizing this one in class, a fun way to do this is to have them race. So everybody has to start at the same time. They all throw their bands out. And then whoever gets the whole band to them first wins. Okay, and we switch, other foot. Some teachers also like to use a pencil and have you pick up the pencil, move things around. You can get creative. Just try picking different things up with your feet and working on that. It really helps our toes get a little more coordinated and strong. Okay, so now we have our ball. And you could do this sitting or standing. For the sake of the frame of this video, I'm going to go ahead and do it sitting today, but often I do have my students stand while they do this. So if you were standing, you would just be parallel, and this would be your angle with your foot down with the ball on the ground. So instead, I'm gonna show you sitting today. So we're gonna start with it in front of you, and you're just gonna place it under the ball of your foot. Now this is not something that has a lot of resistance. I like to do this more for, being aware of feeling all the parts of your foot. So I just want you to do some circles around the outer part of the ball of your foot, and just being comfortable having control over the ball. Then reverse your circles. And then we're going to do the same thing with our heel. And reverse your circle. And let's switch feet. So back to the ball of our foot and circles. Reverse your circle. And let's jump to our heel. Reverse. Now we're going to go between the ball of our foot and our heel. So we're just going to go to our heel, to our toes. 2, 3, 4. Now this time I want you to flex when you're out, point when you're back. Flex, point, flex, point. Switch feet. Okay, from your heel to your toes. And flex this time. And point. Good, and then just kind of play around with it, honestly. Getting comfortable, moving it around, feeling all the parts of your foot. And then you can kind of work on even passing it to your other foot, right? Forward, backward, pass. And again, this is more about awareness in your feet, but it can also be a core exercise when you do this one. You're in a bit of a V-sit. And of course, we can't forget the original greatest way to strengthen our ankles, which is our releve. So don't forget about your releves, but of course, those should be a part of your regular bar work and practice. This is just some extra stuff that you can use some equipment and work on the floor. If you enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you, give it a like, and remember to subscribe to the Dance Navigator for all of the new videos that I'll be posting. Until next time, keep on dancing.